Hey, yo, what's up? This your boy Hassan Hancock here at the Rhyme Room Studio, hanging back, drinking some coffee here this wonderful Monday morning. Yes, I dated. I normally don't do it, but it is Monday. Happy top of the week to everybody.
Hey.
And
Getting started, man.
Yeah.
Good way to start.
Yeah, great way to start. And I got my buddy here, Randall Williams. You know how he does
going
it.
on.
And today we got, I'm not going to say it's light, heavy, or nothing. I mean, it's going to be an impeccable show. How you feel, man?
Feeling good. We actually, I want to kick it off. We were just talking as we're coming on air a little about Injustice 2. We're not going to go to the game portion just yet, but you said you kind of got caught up in the lore bit of the comics.
Yeah,
kind of giving your general, because I've been reading it, for a while since I think it was year 2 or something was out when I first started picking it up, and I got caught up in everything, save for like an annual or so. But what's your thought? Because you said you said, Benny, one of our co-hosts, compared it to Civil War. You disagree? What do you think about?
I disagree with Benny.
Yeah, I would probably take that too.
It's
because I mean, and I want to get your opinion, but to me, my impression or my experience with Injustice has been it's been a good book, but because it's like a 99-cent book, it's pretty short. So issue to issue, sometimes I feel like half the issue is recapping what the previous issue was, and it's I mean the story's it's interesting, but I mean it's not. I don't think DC's top tier people are on it. Like, it's not like an event.
With Injustice?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's a little bit better, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, because this is a story, man, that, I mean, I kind of asked myself, what came first? Who approached who first about what? Did NetherRealm approach Marvel about making a fighting game with, DC characters, and this is their theme, or did, DC approach NetherRealm saying, yo, we got this wonderful theme, we want you to execute the game?
Well, probably depending on what it took place, because isn't NetherRealm's owned by Warner Brothers, aren't they?
Yeah, they bought them up. They scooped them up.
So depending on if it was after or
but
before.
That was before, because they was kind of like low-key floating for a little bit.
Yeah.
They weren't, and then they got acquired by them, so they can make their Mortal Kombats and have the different engines. Yeah. That was that year one PS4 type. But even before then, when they made the original Mortal Kombat versus DC, that garbage of a game. We was talking about that yesterday. We was like, man, I could never.
It's crazy that it became. I mean,
it existed.
Yeah, and despite it, people's opinion of it being garbage, that this isn't Mortal Kombat versus DC, but it's still a DC fighting game. Essentially came from that, and it's highly regarded. Two of them actually.
Highly regarded, man. I mean, it's an amazing. I mean, the game itself is amazing. We'll get into that a little bit later, but I mean,
to the comics,
to the story in itself. I mean, it's one of those things that it kind of reminds me a little bit of Gundam Build Fighters Try a little bit, or just Gundam Build Fighters in general.
Right.
You wanted to see God Gundam fight. Endless Waltz,
right?
Wing Zero or something like that. You want it, and you get to see it.
Yeah, that's a good way to explain it. Yeah, like that's it's kind of it's that as they say, kind of taking all the toys out of the toy box and sort of saying, all right,
here we go.
Any excuse to get him to fight.
Like Superman is he's the big cheese. And you've seen it in Justice League stories before.
Yeah,
Superman. I mean, one of the best scenes. I forgot the name of the comic and all that. I forgot what story arc it was, but man, I knew it was a Justice League title, but it was this one where Superman was just mad as hell, just pissed, and he flew off. And people they started to shudder. And they said, yeah, man, he mad. And it was like, why? Because the moment he left, the air density in the entire area changed.
Jeez.
When he flew.
Superman is ridiculous.
It's like, how do you do that?
That's what makes. I think that's what makes this Injustice so interesting. Is you're dealing with someone like Superman. I mean, he's still not unchained, as it were, because he's still not going full tilt, but like he's got a few screws loose, and that's a dangerous person to be.
He's a very dangerous person. I mean, there was little parts in nuance, and I got caught up. I cheated. I cheated. I mean, I wanted to buy the comic.
Yeah,
I was sitting there with my iPad. I was gonna get it digitally.
Yeah,
and my dude was like, "Yo, man, did you see when Hercules punched Superman?" And I'm like, "What? He fought the gods?" He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, snap. So I got on the DC thing on the mobile app, get ready to buy it. And they couldn't tell me which one. They knew it was year 4, but they didn't know. Because I usually buy hard copies, guys. That's what I do. I mean, I got some digital, but.
Yeah. The way that the books come, the way they're done it's a little weird. Like, I don't know. Especially when because I got it. I first was, I had an Android, so I got it on a Comixology. When I switched to iPhone, I could do the DC app and try to keep up with switching that and whatever actually was which was kind of annoying. But
I gotta.
There's some pretty cool moments in there. Like
it's a moment.
Like one of my favorites was in I think year 1. Superman first is going to taking over. And spoilers here, guys. But Superman's first, taking over, and Aquaman, he's a royalty in his own right. He's like, Superman, your jurisdiction ends where the water begins. Superman just goes, takes Atlantis, brings it up out of the water, and drops it in the desert. And he was like, now what? And Arthur was like, oh, sorry.
That's what I'm talking. I mean,
like, Superman, it's
small
crazy.
Stuff like that. Like, I mean, we talking deaths, man.
Yeah.
I mean, full on deaths. Shit is happening.
Yeah.
At a fast pace, and there's no sign. I mean, with not Hal Jordan, but Kyle Rayner getting killed.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was so bad when they did that to the Lanterns, man. Because when the Lanterns were coming, I was like, okay, Superman, the Lanterns are here now, bro. You better,
bro. He smashed Gandhi into Mogo and put Mogo in the sun. Yeah, and that's a goddamn planet,
right? Man, it's ridiculous.
I mean,
it's if you want to
come on, man. I mean, it's come on, man. I mean, so that's. I mean, they're not pussyfooting around here.
Right,
That's my point.
Right.
And like I said, I cheated a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to and I did sub your page also, but on YouTube. But shout out to Comic Explain.
Oh, yeah, Rob from Comic Explain.
Yeah. Appreciate that. What's he call him? The Rob Warriors or something?
The Rob Core, I think.
The Rob Core. Okay. Yeah. Shout out to him, man. He definitely
he does good work, man.
Caught me up to speed. But I will say this:
Mm-hmm.
I am an avid DC fan, so I'm gonna definitely pick up all the volumes.
Yeah. The art can be hit or miss sometimes in some of the books. But
I figured as much, but I'll definitely.
Yeah, I think overall it's still an enjoyable
I was at Best
read.
Buy. Not Best Buy, but I was at Barnes and Noble looking at these books. Like, which one do I get? Do I get Rebirth or do I get Injustice?
Yeah.
Rebirth or Injustice? I got Rebirth, guys. So,
it's probably still the better
forward.
bang for your buck, but Injustice is still good too, man. It's good.
And shout out to the Mom and Pop comic shops. Y'all wasn't open. It was Sunday, so so I'm gonna definitely get the.
I do like that it kind of explores, at least to an extent, in one direction, the idea of because we always talk about like why doesn't Batman kill the Joker? Why don't these heroes just stop playing around and got these powers, and then we get to kind of see. That evolution. Batman kind of. I mean, could Superman? I mean, I think I could see Superman getting pushed if he got Lois pregnant and accidentally killed her. Like, not only did she just die, he did it on account of the Joker. I could see him snapping based off that.
I mean, it's definitely one of those things. Even like spoilers when they killed when Superman sent. I forgot his name, but he sent old dude to kill Alfred. I was like,
oh yeah. Was it Zaz?
Yeah, his ass or something like that.
Yeah,
I was like, shit.
Yeah,
nobody touches Alfred. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and they still had that. I mean, and of course it was like what 3? It was 2 different writers.
Yeah.
It was like Tom, I think, was doing the first 3.
Yeah.
Forgot the other guy's name. But yeah. I mean, it's just one of those wild ride type stories.
Right,
I mean, Mr. Mixcaplix.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was like first of all, it was cool that they brought in Constantine and like the supernatural elements.
Yeah,
they're involving everybody in this. Like,
yeah, Dr. Cool. Was it then Dr. Chimp or something like that?
Yeah.
It's like these guys I mean, and they killing cats.
Yeah,
left and right.
Yeah,
man.
And it's they do a pretty good job of balancing the fact that we know, at least as far as the first game went, up to that point, we knew Superman took over, and the balance between Superman and Batman. Like, it's not all Batman just constantly outsmarting Superman, but it's not Superman just overpowering Batman all the time. It's Batman tries a plan, Superman beats it, he has to go. That's why he's working with Constantine, and he's falling back and basically trying to find a way to stop this. And I do like that they did. I mean, it's not the most heartwarming thing, but they do touch on the fact that they're friends still. Like, Superman's like, there's still kind of a attempt from both sides to try to get the other to see their way. Like, it's like they don't like change. You can change. You can face justice if you're Batman. And Superman's like, no, you don't get it. You're Gotham's a mess. You should have done this years ago. Like, and he kind of has a valid point. Like,
it does.
If I lived in Gotham, I kind of would low key be like, why is Joker allowed to just break out of Arkham every week? Like, dude's not bulletproof.
I mean, I say the same thing about Superman Metallo coming out. I mean, I mean, if they had the version of Lex Luthor that every other planet in the multiverse has, then I mean, Batman can say the same thing about Metropolis.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
They had a low key nice Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
A guy who was all about the love, the advancement and love of the human race. But he loved Superman also. I mean, come on, man. I mean, where's this guy been all our lives? I mean, yeah.
It's definitely a great, interesting idea. It would be interesting to see if this had been like instead of a game tie-in, like just an event proper, even just an Elseworlds kind of thing, but like a major like DC putting their top tier. And again, nothing to speak disparaging about the people who are on it, but I'm just curious to see if they'd have put like full throated support behind it, if it had been more robust or the ways it's taken. Because like I said, I'm pretty happy with the way they've done the story so far. The only negatives I really have would be there was, after year 5 ended, I think before the annual, there was like Injustice Ground Zeroes, which was basically kind of retelling the story, but also advancing it, but it was through the eyes of Harley Quinn. And I was like, okay, well, I know Suicide Squad just came out, but like, take it down a notch. Like, I don't need to see Harley Quinn and everything. But outside of that, it was.
I mean, it was really trying to push a Harley Quinn moment. They trying to get some merch out. That's what happens. I mean, she is a baddie.
Yeah, I mean, and she's one of the faces of DC right now. So you're gonna get her a lot of places.
I mean, and out of nowhere. I mean, was it Suicide Squad or was it Injustice? Was it both? I mean,
it was like, it was just kind of bubbling. Like, I mean, because people liked her in Batman the Animated Series, but she kind of went away and then started just kind of.
Became a thing, man. I'm like, same thing. Well, Supergirl, she's still kind of corny. They need, I mean, I watched the show, but
Well, I mean, part of it is, and this is a whole on the tangent, but I mean, I think women generally love Harley a lot more than like Supergirl. Like so that really. I mean, you go to Halloween within the last like 5 years, and you're seeing 90%. At least 80% Harley Quinn costumes.
Some Poison Ivy thrown in there a little bit. Yeah. She'd be having some sharp outfits, Which, I mean, Supergirl, ain't nobody got that damn cape on.
No. It wants to be that nerdy, I guess.
No. But the comic, man, I think, reason why I put it above Civil War is because I think that the story, because of that mixing of the bag, I mean, there's an entire, like you said, the magic element, the space element.
Right.
I mean, they didn't leave no stone unturned. I mean,
right.
You had the High Father. You had Zeus.
You
had Ganthet. You had Apocalypse. I mean, Darkseid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you had Trigon. You had Constantine. You had Batman. You had
Raven.
Raven.
Yeah, I mean, like it's
everybody's there. Shazam.
Yeah, that's right.
You see what I'm saying? And then you're seeing different things like, you see Shazam, but like Shazam, and he ain't getting the powers, and just like small shit like you can transform because we allow it.
Yeah,
and I don't want you transforming. So you ain't getting it. You thought this entire time it was the Eternity Rock that was given. Yeah. It's like, I allow you to have this. I am not to be played with. And you saw it made you, even though you wanted Superman to lose, when you see him lose against certain ones, you realize that there was a lot of people out there that can.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, for as powerful as they play Superman off to be, and again, I said he's that at 100%. You're right that for example, we're dealing with Zeus and everything. Yeah, like, he's like Zeus is like, nah, I don't play these games. Right?
Like, get on my level, B. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I looked at he dodged it, kind of like corporal type. I'm like, bro, Superman, you can't. Wonder Woman. I mean, they played up her battle tactician type. Yeah, Amazon warrior. Hear me war. Where she took Superman's arm and broke it. Gouged his eyes out. I'm like, dang, Superman. I mean, overall, he probably could.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine he should. I mean,
he probably could knock her jaw off. Yeah. I mean, overall. I mean, but you got to get a clean hit, right? Yeah. And I don't think he'll get a clean hit.
And she's no slouch, right?
I mean, because everybody knows Superman's a white belt.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He's a white belt in Jeet Kune Do, so he just got started.
Just imagine this dude in like a karate gi class.
Yeah, he's in there with all your guys as children. If you got children, he's the grown man that you asked the instructor about. Like, who's that? Is he helping you guys out, or is he? Yeah. So, just great job, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Civil War. I mean, there's been people talked about it before. People like it.
I mean, I think part of Civil War's advantage is it has a pretty big scope. I mean, in the sense that you have the heroes fighting each other in a really massive and impactful way,
which is similar to Injustice in a sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it
was a major Marvel event compared to this for DC. That's why I think Civil War gets. Well, even then, though, if you ask people about Civil War, it's still pretty divided. People either like it or they hated it.
I mean, I don't dislike it. I'll say that. I mean, I just thought at the time it came out, I believe, like I told you off air, that Annihilation was better.
Yeah, I've heard that before. From people.
It was the same thing. It was. I mean, they had that division in space, and what's his name? Andromedus, whatever his name was.
I think it's just a shame that with the one running concurrently, and two, I mean, most Cosmic Marvel doesn't have a Spider-Man or it doesn't have like up until like the Guardians, right? There's not been that real face that people who don't read it that often, even comic fans who don't read it that often, would be drawn into.
I mean, and that's to their own fault. I mean,
because for example, I was starting it off and I was reading the reading order, and like one of the first books, it's like a Drax book. So like Drax and a bunch of aliens you don't know, you're like, well, why do I care about this? What's going on? There's no.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I mean, what are they going to do? I mean, but I mean, then that's Marvel's fault. I mean, they focus so much on trying to make their heroes appeal to real world like readers, and right. I mean, they ditched the costume for the jeans and T-shirt. I mean, like,
yeah.
Right. All types of stuff, and it worked for a while. I mean, all the characters are accessible.
Yeah.
I mean, like people always say, they can't see a Spider-Man movie without Spider-Man. They can't see Venom having his own movie.
Yeah.
And that's one of your other points too about what's his name?
The Tom Hardy Bane.
Yeah.
Man, hope he gets the mask.
I hope so too. We are Venom. Did I say that right?
Yeah, that's yeah.
Did I say it right? I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, Marvel doesn't have they have a hard time,
right?
I mean,
and it's a shame because I think Cosmic Marvel, if the individual characters, because I mean, part of it is there's only they can make them but so relatable. They're space-faring monsters, but I think some of the things that they're doing you can make relatable or at least interesting. Because I think I never read a lot of Inhumans, but from the people who liked it, it was very much. It was like a royal kind of political drama thing in space, like a medieval drama set in space. I think doing things like that, I think will get people to jump on board, and then they'll develop a love for the characters as they read these stories.
Yeah, people like it. I mean, Inhumans is hit or miss for me. My friend, he's all about them Inhumans. But
really?
I mean, that political drama type deal, it works.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I mean, you're dealing with like space. You got different. You got the Brood. You got the Shi'ar Empire. You got all these galactic civilizations
that nobody gives a damn about.
Right.
Because I mean, think about it. I mean, who wants to pick up a comic called Norrin Rad? Do you want to read?
But
Norrin Rad, Life Before the Surfer. Do you want to read Norrin Rad?
I bet he had it ready to go. Life Before the Surfer. An inside look.
Inside look of a day-to-day job toting, having bill paying Norrin Rad. Galaxy far, far away. Next door to Star Wars.
But I think if, for example, if you were to bridge that gap, if Marvel pretended that the Fantastic Four existed again, since they do a lot with space, so the X-Men deal with space sometimes, use them to bridge that gap and then create kind of a base and sort of that, use them to kind of build a familiarity, because then I think you could make a Silver Surfer thing interesting with the sense that he's dealing with Galactus and eating planets or whatever version of him you want to take, if he's still the Herald or not. Yeah. It could be him fighting other former Heralds or whatever, whatever you want to set up.
I mean, that would be dope.
Yeah.
If they do it, they got to do it correctly. I mean, obviously, Marvel's big one of their big money makers is their movies,
right?
So when they make a movie, I mean, let's forget about what movie properties with who, Fox, all that, Marvel, Disney. Mm-hmm. Let's forget about that.
Right.
Your average person don't care about that.
Right.
But what they do care about is what they see in front of them.
Right.
And if we're watching Fantastic Four with Silver Surfer and Doctor Doom, and the movie got this dust cloud of a Galactus, then you're just gonna be like, I don't care to see Galactus anymore.
Yeah.
I don't care about this movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So in turn, you're not going to care about the comic.
Yeah.
You're not going to care about the merch. I mean, Silver Surfer, he'll come out with a cartoon and it'll fail. He did have a comic line. That was really, really good, though.
Yeah.
And I think he was about to die or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing this fantastic shit. I mean, it's pretty. I forgot the name. It's like his last that I know of. Like eight series type. I think it's like 8 series.
Mm-hmm.
You can look it up. But yeah, I mean, outside of that, you know, I mean, Marvel got a problem when it comes to that.
Well, it's a shame that Marvel has done such ill will towards events to this point, because I think events are a great opportunity to introduce and get these characters in there. Like, you get an event where Silver Surfer, for example, shines or he has a major role. You get to see him. You get to see him in a major impact without having to devote and buy into a whole series and kind of let it build up. And then after that, out of that spawns like, you know, a series and something, because all of a sudden you're interested. You want to see more of his exploits, more, you know, those kind of things.
I mean, you'll go and see. You'll pay real dollars to go and see, you know, a show or read an event. I mean, because DC, what they normally do is, I mean, of course they know what they're doing, but they're magic, they're even like their physical or alien physiology type people. Martian Manhunter, all these guys, they know how to fit them in. Like, you know, like, it's hard to explain, man. But like when you see, like, let's say Flash in the Speed Force and what it can do and how it's done this and how it affects people and how everybody's connected, but they have a better connection. And all, right. And then you got these magical people. Then you got these space people. You got all these different. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All in one event.
Right.
Just one event.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah.
It works, man. So I think it's better. I think Injustice is up there with Annihilation with me. That's where I put it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean, and kind of just, I guess, closing up or to go back to your point about the movies. I mean, I think you look at it anytime a movie comes out, like you go to like a fan site or something, or like a subreddit for Marvel, all of a sudden it's a bunch of posts about people wanting to start picking up the trade, start picking up the order, or things they're reading that just happen to be related.
Right.
Or, like, you know, for example, I guarantee you we're going to see a ton of things about Adam Warlock now. After Guardians of the Galaxy, Austin's going to be Adam Warlock's going to be the new hotness coming into Marvel, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him featured in something that Marvel does before the movie comes out. You know, for Infinity War, to get people on board with him and get people, you know, to kind of, and I think. And again, you know, because of the rights issues, they're not able to do that, for example, with Silver Surfer. But I think some of the Marvel Cosmic, if they could just... I think if they just did a Marvel Cosmic event, maybe another Annihilation style without, you know, retreading the same ground, I think would be hugely beneficial for that line. Because it is a shame. It is largely ignored. Like, if you're not an Avenger or kind of a street Earth hero, I mean, you really ain't really doing anything in Marvel.
I mean, hey, I'm telling you, man, space is a no-go for Marvel, man. They like, look, man, we gotta do everything in this stratosphere,
right?
Okay, everything.
The highest we get is Alpha Flight.
Yeah, we don't want. I mean, we could call up the Phoenix or something like that, but she gonna have to come here. we can't.
She gotta come to us.
Yeah, we can't be going to where she be born at and all that. You know what I mean? Because we ain't got no ships, dog. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, like, for example, something like that. Like, that would be, you know, bring you know, if you're going to do something with the Phoenix, you know, that's an excuse. Yeah. And I think a way to bridge, take, you know, X-Men, bring them into space.
But how many times do they keep using this Phoenix thing?
Oh, yeah. Obviously, I wouldn't.
I mean, everybody under the sun has been under the guise of the Phoenix. I was done with Cyclops. We had the Phoenix Force.
The Phoenix Force. You were a fan of
the Phoenix Force.
Man? Come on. Phoenix Force 5. I got jackets and...
glittery. The White Room. Shut up. It was dope when it was. They did Phoenix Horror, and it started.
Yeah.
On X-Men 3. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is this?
Yeah, Phoenix is kind of like that X-Men / Marvel kind of catch-all, almost like I guess they're Thanos, almost kind of like just somebody. We need somebody big and bad to throw in. We need to make it dangerous. Throw the Phoenix in.
Let's put that Phoenix in there. You know what I'm saying? She got, obviously fire powers. Yeah. You know, really strong psionics. She guards the Incon crystal. I mean, or does she anymore? I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think right now basically hers is just destruction. That's her power. Yeah, destroy everything.
Yeah, I'm just, you know, rebirth is her thing. Yeah. Make things new. Destroy it to make it new. She never really has a conversation with Galactus at all for some apparent reason.
Yeah, that one thing can see more of the cosmic entities.
Yeah, I mean, Galactus is he's a cosmic, like, well,
he's
a cosmic king. Or, you know, I mean, he's a psionic also. Yeah. I mean, one of the best in the universe. So why can't he dialogue with this Phoenix Force? I mean, don't they have anything in common? Like hello.
Yeah. we already talked about this. He's only going to talk to her when he needs a job. The Phoenix when
he makes a damn near Phoenix version for himself.
Yeah,
and called it Nova. You know, I was like, yeah. I mean, Marvel,
I was
get your
say,
space together.
To be fair to Marvel, I guess isn't the Ultimates? Isn't that kind of what they do? More the cosmic side, the spacefaring. Like I don't read a ton.
I
don't
know. I don't know. They haven't crossed my radar. I don't know.
Yeah.
All our fans out there, all our friends, good people, listeners, if you know the answer to that question, let us know.
I know Galactus is the life bringer now instead of a planet eater. Like they changed his
who?
Galactus. He's like gold and he, I think, gives life instead of killing planets now.
That's where he's at right now?
Yeah.
That's what's going on?
Yeah.
It's the dumbest shit.
Hey.
Let us know how you think about
Marvel, man.
Goodness gracious. I got to spend an extra $1 on this? Every issue is an extra $1 to see Galactus, give life. All right. Tell me we got Swamp Thing. That's what we got. We got... Nah, he wouldn't make no sense. Yeah. But yeah, man, Injustice is good.
Yeah, what was I gonna say? He was in there. Swamp Thing, man. And they brought... That was pretty crazy. I didn't realize how powerful Swamp Thing was until I was reading like
the Green.
They made him.
Shut up, Swamp Thing. Dude, so
hey, they made him seem like he was like
a box of rocks,
legit.
man.
He was
dumbass. Only thing I care about is green. You're gonna blow up the entire planet, bro. Oh, it's green in there, isn't it? Yeah, it's green in there. Of course, it's green. It's vegetation all over the place. What are you talking about? You gonna help us or not? Well, in that case, I'm gonna definitely be able to assist you guys. I mean, it's stupid shit.
You brought up the green.
Yeah, I'm good. I mean, is the Hulk gonna be protected also because he's green? No, man. I just, Swamp Thing is powerful, man. He really is. Yeah. Overall, I mean, DC is just definitely on top, man. They're running shit. I mean, I saw critics right now. They're giving they're liking Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I was gonna say the reviews aren't out, but the initial impressions are very positive, which is good. That's what most people I talk to. Everyone's hoping it's really good. They really want Wonder Woman to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really excited for that. That's gonna be really good. And if they can take that step in the movie, they'll be really. DC will be set. I mean, because like I said, they already got the games down, the comics, they're taking over. It's
animation.
Yeah.
They need that game. Yeah. I mean, they need that movie.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and shout out to them, man. I'm going to definitely see it June 2nd. Check that out. Injustice 2, quick review, is really awesome.
Yeah.
Get it if you can.
I was going to say, when I saw you playing it looks a lot quicker than I thought it would be in my mind. Like, for some reason in my mind, the Mortal Kombat games are a bit slower paced.
Yeah.
I mean, now granted, versus like Marvel vs. Capcom, it's a lot slower, but that's because Marvel vs. Capcom is like ADD stuff. But
yeah.
But now, when I was watching you were playing, you were dealing with this Deadshot,
cheap ass,
living off his
nerf him.
He's got that Suicide Squad buff. He's a popular character now.
He does. That dude was shoot me. The guy was spamming, man. You gonna always get them spammers will fight.
But I was watching now. It looks like because it looked like the range and the attacks was pretty long. Is that for everybody? The range, or is it him specifically? Because with the ability to go across the screen to the other side, I was wondering if that's how they built it instead to make. Because if you look at Street Fighter, you do your Hadouken, it's not gonna go across the screen from one end to the other.
It would.
I thought it was usually like halfway, usually about half.
Reuse normally would. I know Ken, depending on what game it is, Ken's will fade. Because Ken ain't no. I mean, so same thing with Sean, but Akuma his does.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean, but even still, like that's his play. I mean, because he's nothing but guns. He ain't no fighter, not for real. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you just gotta find a way to get around it.
Right. So I mean, in terms of mechanics, is that just him specifically, or is that? Like part of the mechanics is the spacing as far as like
I mean because there's some people in there like you got Dr. Fate and he's his own character but that's essentially what he is Deadshot because they're playing zone they're not good they're not up close and I mean so basically Supergirl's like mid tier she has a couple combos here and there but she ain't gonna get up in your face like a cheetah or a Catwoman or what's her name. Black Canary. I mean, she's not gonna. She's not that type. I mean, same thing with Superman. Superman's like more of a mid.
Is he really? Well, I guess he would probably. He would probably.
He got a couple combos.
Yeah, I was gonna say he'd been good at both
that you can link in between, but it's not. Yeah, that's not his Batman, Nightwing. They all get in your jaw.
Right. Narrative in lore wise, that makes sense why they would do that.
Captain Cold Zone.
I was curious if that was part of like the whole wouldn't say mechanics game, but like the way the game works is managing that space because there's going to usually be a lot between you and your opponent and trying to close that gap.
Yeah, I mean, basically, is you overpowering using the best of your ability with your character over the next person. So if that person plays zone and you play up close and personal, you want to close that gap as best as possible all the time. Otherwise, he's going to go and play his tactic, which will lead to your disadvantage. So that's is up close or mid to zone,
right?
And zone can, if you let them have it, they're going to win every time.
Yeah,
that's why he was getting me with those shots, and I'm trying to get over there. I'm playing his game now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I have to cross over. I have to get that midpoint, get in there, put him down, and he can play my game. If I'm in his head. He's in my head. Yeah. So I'm like, dang, I can't do what I want to do.
Right.
But if you both play balance, or play your characters the way you're supposed to, you'll have some pretty interesting fights. But if you play a zone person's game, it's like shit.
Yeah.
And he's the perfect zone character.
Right.
I mean, Dr. Fate is too. I mean, but
is the class just in the same as in the first game? Because I know when you did that wager kind of thing, you did. That same. Okay.
Yeah, it's the same. They put a lot of. It's quick. It's fun. Once you get caught up in the lore, if you care about the lore at all, which you should, I believe. That's fun. You can YouTube it. Like I had to talk about Rob and Games Comic Explain, and you can also look at some of the old movies or clips from the first game. If you don't want to play through it, you can just watch the entire.
Yeah, because I remember I watched like the endings. Like you had the ending cutscenes for like everybody, depending on who you beat the game with. But.
So that's. Definitely, guys. Injustice 2. Please get that. That is a must.
We talked about it a couple times. We brought it. How's the netcode? Is it?
No. It wasn't that bad, as you can see.
Yeah. I was gonna say, it didn't seem that.
But you can have some. You can have some laggy matches.
Yeah.
Ooh, buddy. You can have you some laggy matches, man. So but that's any fighting game,
right?
Because yesterday, a couple of the guys came over. We played in the living room. Mm-hmm. Perfect butter, 60 frames, man.
Right.
Gone. Now, you play online is like, it's not that bad, but it's like, shit. Well,
right.
It's better than nothing.
That difference, yeah.
It's better than nothing, guys. Right. Or 30 frames per second, my bad, it ain't 60. Mm-hmm. But the, guys, please get that game.
Yeah. I think it's interesting to see that community grow. Like you're saying, off air.
It might even go to Evo.
Oh, really? Yeah. That'd be pretty cool. Like I said,
I know Sonic Fox is like the guy that everybody like to watch.
Is he like he's the main streamer from?
He's the main Evo guy when it comes to
Injustice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I hope it does because I feel like that's what we were talking about this a little bit. Don't have to go into it, but as far as the fighting game scene or a competitive scene for most games, you need kind of like that marquee person, like like a Daigo, from Street Fighter. You need somebody that people come to see. And people want to watch and get in those, the incredible matches. Because, like I was telling you, I don't know much about fighting games as far as the intricacies go. I'm not very good at them. Right. But it's easy to watch. You see the health bar go down. You can see punches and kicks, so you can keep up with that game. So even if you're a lay person, you can tune into Evo, see Injustice 2, and be like, "That game looks good. I need to go check that out." And kind of help grow that competitive scene there. So it'll be interesting. Hopefully, it gets there. Is it? They have to vote it in? Like I know a while ago they were trying to vote between like Killer Instinct and Marvel vs. Capcom, or is it just depending on?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll go ahead and see what they got. Mm-hmm. So Evo begins on the 14th of July, ends on the 16th. I'll be off getting married, guys. I won't be able to go. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but let me see what we got. So the games they got. Hold on.
All right,
here we go. Street Fighter 5, Tekken 7, because Tekken 7 come out next month.
Yeah.
Guilty Gear, was that Zerd or Zerd 2? Yeah, R2, something like that. Injustice 2.
Okay, so it is. That's good.
Super Smash Bros. Melee, Super Smash Bros. Wii U, Blaz Blue, The King of Fighters, 14. Yeah, that's right. And Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom.
And I know like games. It's interesting. Games like King of Fighter and Blaz Blue, because I know outside of like the fighting game community, those games don't get a lot of a lot of pub, but those kind of niche games really, I think, have a home like this.
It's because of the art. It's like the art direction.
That's true. Yeah.
First of all, I'm surprised they ain't got Brawl. Well, not Brawl. Well, I guess Brawl will be the week.
Is Pokken Tournament not making an appearance? Wow.
These are tournament games. They may have it somewhere on the floor, but
that's right. That's true. Yeah, because I thought they had it last year.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, I encourage everybody to watch Evo.
Yeah, I think it's like I said, especially with it being a fighting game, it's a lot easier to just kind of jump in.
I'm gonna watch it later, but I'm gonna definitely watch it. I mean, because it's you buy these fighting games and you get good at them, or you might just play it casually. Right. I mean, but then when you start watching Evo and seeing all the enthusiasts of fighting games coming together and really going toe to toe, head to head in a fighting game, it's like, dang, it really goes down, like
right, yeah, like I said, that's even for me. Not even being good at the games or playing casually, it's still watching. It's like infectious. You're like, wow, this is exciting. Like this is crazy, especially the reactions and people, watching people's strategy and watching somebody come back from a huge deficit. And going to your point, it's kind of like people playing sports. You play basketball, play football with your friends, and you may do it kind of just for fun, but then you watch the pros and you get that appreciation for what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. So, but, I mean, more on Evo a little bit later, guys. We'll definitely get into that. I know we wanted to shift off a little bit. I know everybody's listening to this like, man, he just went from what Randall said and just said, fuck that. Yeah, I cuss a little bit, guys. I apologize. That's why it says explicit, but I try to keep it minimum. But I'm grown, so yay. Yay for adulthood. He's adulting now. Listen, guys. There was a couple friends we were talking about, and we talked about this kind of like before. I think we might have talked about it on our Scorpio thing about it might have been or Xbox history and effect. What was it?
Actually, I'm trying to remember. I thought it was just a particular topic you just went on.
No, about the Azure system, online gaming.
Oh, the Azure. Yeah, okay, I thought you were talking about the anti-consumer angle.
Yeah, right. I get. That's what it was. The anti-consumer. Yeah. So there's this article that came out on Polygon. What was the name of it again?
It was just Valve's Not Your Friends. I have to pull up to get the exact title of it.
Awesome article, man.
It was really, really interesting. Really, another way to look at, like you said, Valve is such a popular distribution system and game management client, and it's ubiquitous to online gaming in the PC space that and because we all have a pretty friendly image of Valve, you wouldn't think that there would be sort of a negative slant to it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just to give it the proper citation, the article is Valve is not your friend and Steam is not healthy for gaming via Polygon.
Yep, and I read it, and I must say I like when articles like that shed light, like it could be slanted. Somebody might read this and be like, no, I've been with Steam since day one, and this is so false. I mean, you might have that guy. Yeah, I don't know. Or that girl.
I'm sure you have that guy.
Yeah, there's always gonna be somebody who's like, oh, this is a crock of shit. Yeah. But I mean, for me at least, it opened my mind for discussion. Right. I mean, because I don't think they have the 100% recipe to Steam's way of doing business. Right. I don't think they have that.
No. Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not a PC gamer.
Right.
So to see an article like that definitely makes you be like,
Get your needle going. It's because I agree. I don't necessarily agree with everything in the article, but even to your point, they kind of talk about the rabid defense of Steam, and you're absolutely right because people will leap to defend Steam very aggressively. Yeah. Now, I mean, to their credit, one common defense before we even get into the meat of it is that hey, it's not Steam's fault if Origin and Uplay and the Windows Store, if they're not viable platforms, if they're not as good as what current offering. I mean, Steam can't hamstring themselves just because their competitors aren't as good, which is a fair point. But I mean, there's a lot. I think there's a lot more to it, and looking at deeper, taking a deeper look at kind of their business model and everything is worthwhile.
Right. I mean, because everybody looks at the game prices and how the system is now. Right. And we talked about this. Like, I don't want to get too deep into it. We talked about it in our anti-consumer theory and all that. I mean, but the $60 games, $30 ultimate, like $100 for ultimate edition type games, and then they got all these paywalls, like I was playing Injustice 2, and I'm like, what, I'm getting tired of this. I want to get Vixen and Jon Stewart and Reverse Flash and Jay Garrick. I want to get all these characters now. I want to play with them. I mean, I love them, right? Right. I spent $10 on these gold metal things. So the game is now $74 after tax.
The thing is they don't want you to see it like that. They want you to be like, oh, I spent $64 for the game today. Yeah. Next week I spend $10. Next week I spend that it adds up, but you're not thinking of it. You're just doing piecemeal.
Overwatch is the king of that.
It really is, and it's and I think that's what I think the short from what you mentioned earlier, like GTA, Rockstar situation, I think that's what the companies are really going for, which is we have a game that you're constantly engaged in. There's a lot of fan, a lot of fan involvement, a lot of publicity for, and people are willing and able to spend a lot of money frequently for
it. And people are spending money because I know not too long ago, Activision has said that Overwatch is now its new $1 billion industry, and it's like. $1 billion is a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot. If people can convince people enough, if a company can convince you to spend $5, $10 here and there,
right,
and you do it, and they make $1 billion, that's a lot. That's a lot of people.
It is. Well, it is. And look, I don't know. I don't play Overwatch, so I don't know specifically how they do it. But I know, for example, I play Smite, which is a MOBA, and one of the ways that they, and to a larger extent, League and Dota will do it is that they have, people who will spend tons of money on chests. Like I'll spend occasionally on a cost, like a skin or whatever, because I'll get you something. And once you initially spend some money, then it's gonna be easier for you to spend more. Yeah. They get you with that, and then they get you with spending a lot of money on chests. So you're spending a lot of money on trying to roll and game those items. That's why I know. I will give at least a little kudos to China. Recently, they had a law passed that they have to, the games that are released in China, they have to give their rates for their success rates for certain items. So you can't be like, you have a 1 in 200% chance or 200% chance to get.
Because now you're just spending money frivolously, and you want this item, but you don't know if you're going to get it or not.
Right, it's a casino at this point.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're just hitting a slot machine. And just like,
I'm hoping that I get it.
Right,
yeah.
but because you've already done it, it doesn't seem bizarre to you. You're like, oh yeah, of course I want this skin. Or you bought some things, so when they come with a new skin, you can even directly purchase, even if it's like $10 for just a skin. You're like, oh, I gotta have that because the idea of what you're doing is no longer an issue. It's part of the game.
They just load the damn game with a shit ton of items, and then you're like, oh, I get 11 boxes for $9.99 on Overwatch, baby. I'm gonna go ahead and I know after 11 boxes, I'm gonna at least get enough money to buy the item, or I'm gonna get the item in one of the boxes. I'm hoping I get it
or you'll get enough of what you'll be like, this isn't too bad. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for it.
I'm content.
Yeah, exactly.
Next week. Oh, we got 3 new maps, and we got 3 new items, and then we got this. We got the year of the rooster. We got the. You be like, shit, I gotta get that item. I gotta get
exactly right.
This is a limited time only event, man. I gotta get.
That's also how they get you, right? It's like you gotta hurry up and buy it.
Gotta hurry up and get it because it's gonna be the last time you can play with it.
And then next time you're in a match, you see somebody walking around with that skin, you're like, I should have got that. Next time I'm getting it day one.
Should have got that. That's how they do it. But the thing about it is, people have spent $200, $300 on Overwatch.
Yeah.
With an entry fee of $60.
Yeah. That's what's crazy. Yeah, like, because at least like with League and Dota, like, those games are free, and you can play enough to earn characters. Like, it's easier just to buy them outright, but you can deal with that. But Overwatch, you pay for the game up front, and then you're buying all these extra things on top of that. And like I said, I think that's ultimately games as a platform. That's what they want. The sort of, because that's kind of what MMOs were back in the day anyway. Just not to this extent.
Yeah, the games, somebody was real smart.
Yeah.
In getting this to, and
that's why you're going to see like, in a couple months here, we're going to see another Overwatch announcement of some new expansion, something new coming out.
They all try to do it. Even let's take 3 games. So we'll use Overwatch. That's a first person shooter.
Right.
You could use Injustice 2. It's a fighting game.
Right.
Could use Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
That's an RPG. A JRPG at that.
You never thought you'd see the day with that.
Yeah, just buy the DLC. You can play the Gladiator story. You can get this item. You can get this story. You can rewrote chapter 13. All type of
right. Think about what, especially with the reception 13 had. It was pretty positive. It's even been better or just the same. If they come out with a DLC like, you can get Cloud's outfit for your main character. People would snap that up in a heartbeat. Like people, that's the kind of things that people want, and then they know.
But they don't. Well, they kind of do it. They don't do it in that game in particular. Yeah. They do it in Final Fantasy. Was it Mobius?
Oh yeah,
on the iPhone.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's like
especially, and a lot of it, I think stems from that mobile that model that developed on mobile platforms, which was what they had. What you call whales, which is someone who'll spend a ton of money. And they'll make up for like 5 people who don't spend anything or buy here or there, because some people Like I remember that Farmville and that stuff on Facebook. Those games that people were just racking up huge bills on. People will part with their money if you can convince them to do it in the right way.
Yeah, and you gotta convince. I mean, Angry Birds made a shit ton of money. I mean,
Angry Birds. That thing was huge. it was for a free game.
I mean, it was they made billions. I mean, I'm like, God. I mean, and then some of these companies, they make all this money, get all this popularity, and then they get their check and they leave.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The dude who Mojang, which was Minecraft.
Oh yeah, Notch. Yeah.
It's like he sold it, banged out.
Yeah.
Now he bored.
Sold it for billions. Yeah, he did his. I mean, I remember he tweeted he was looking at some house like Jay-Z and Beyonce were looking at buying. Like,
can you get mad at that? You can't.
I remember. People don't talk about it as much, but Candy Crush, the game was huge.
Yeah.
I think Activision something bought them for like $500 million, and then the game just fell apart. But they got their money.
They got their money and left.
Yeah.
I mean, the same people. I mean, this is not games, but people who built YouTube. I mean, Google was like, "Yo, we need to have that."
Yeah.
Took their money and left. I mean, that's part of the business now. Business nowadays. I mean, the bigger companies.
Well, I mean, and part of it is just that's part of the value of the brand. Because, for example, going back to MOBAs or Smite, the same company, Hi-Rez, made a game Paladins. It's a first-person shooter. It's a lot like Overwatch. But it's not the same level because Overwatch is Overwatch. Like that's the game. Like that's when you think of that stuff, you think of a hero shooter, that kind of thing. That's Overwatch, and that's going to be the big one for the longest time.
Yeah, they shut down Gearbox and that daggone Battleborn. I was like,
I feel bad for that.
It was like nobody wants to play our game.
I remember before the games came out because they came out around the same time. Like one of their social media people tweeted, they're like, it was either the release date or they looked at like, looks at Overwatch challenge accepted. That challenge was lost. Like they did not want that.
They lost that. And we gonna come out a whole month before you too. Lost. Ooh, trifling. I mean, and that's going back a little bit.
Yeah.
They talked, like what my friends was talking about. It's like, it's cheaper to buy your games on Steam or online. Yeah. If everybody had that model, then everybody can. It'll be cheap.
Right.
The game would be cheap.
Right.
But I don't know. I
think it's in the best interest of the platform holders and the developers to have people buy as many people buying their games as possible. So in my estimation, and this, to me doesn't take into account wanting to just have larger profits for the sake of larger profits, but if you can get your games cheaper, I think you should, particularly digital, because you don't have to worry about paying for physical packaging or shelf space or shipping. I think they should. That said, as we were kind of talking about, a lot of that comes into how much does the developer actually see? Because remember, that's what everyone was been railing on GameStop about.
Yeah, and that's what they was talking about too.
You go to GameStop, you trade a game, the developers see none of that second-hand purchase product, and everyone was up in arms, and it was a terrible thing to do. But you have to take a look at the same thing with Steam and all these other platforms.
They're doing it. They're doing it too. I mean, that's just. I mean, they're paying the developer,
right?
Because you only buy it once anyway. You're not going to.
Yeah.
I think they have some sort of trade in something. Or Steam's thing was refunds, wasn't it?
I know they have like a refund, like up to 2 hours, I think, after you get it.
They have a refund program. Like, we'll give you Steam money,
Steam dollars,
not your money. Like, I want my money. I can't take this Steam money to Kroger's. Give me my money. It was a mistake. My daughter, she hit the enter button. I didn't know. I get $60. Can I get that back? No, take this Monopoly money and get the hell out of our face. You can buy property on Park Place. But anyway.
Take this Counter-Strike maps, get out of here. Go to Kroger, be like, I got like 12 Counter-Strike.
I got 12 Counter-Strike maps. It's valued at $12.99. Listen. If I give you this
ham.
My daughter, she pressed the enter button. They just wouldn't give me back my $12.99. Oh snap! We are clouded too much, but you would expect it to be cheaper. I mean, and it's not.
And like I said, we were kind of saying, at the beginning of this generation, we all thought with the increase and rise of digital purchasing that we would see those prices drop, and I do think we're seeing more sales and better sales, but we're not seeing a
new game
more consistent. Yeah, new game being consistently cheaper. And even some of the sales I think could stand to be improved.
You get a new game at $45, man. You got me. That's just.
You talked about it earlier. Getting that Gamers Club Unlocked. You pay like $50 I think for like 2 years, or $30 for 2 years.
Yeah,
it's I mean, and then you're getting new games for like $42 with tax out the door.
Yeah,
like I mean,
it's like that's not fair.
Yeah, and the thing is,
as Best Buy,
right?
How can they do that?
Yeah, and they need to do that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, low key, they're taking more gamers from,
right.
You know, from the. Because you go into Best Buy, it's more than just games. Even though GameStop specializes or EB Games, wherever you guys at, even though they specialize, Best Buy. I mean, you go in there, they be like, "Yo, man, Gamers Unlocked, got that get that Geek Squad protection on there for that disc just in case you get scratched. I ain't got no kids."
let me get you a Mad Cat.
Oh, get you a Mad. Get that primer. Get the primer. You know, you might need that so you can get the combos. I got the internet.
Oh, okay. I got the internet.
Oh, okay. You son of a bitch! You got the internet, huh?
That was great. I got the internet. You ain't wrong though, man. It's like I don't need a strategy guy. Man, I
got the internet, man. Like, what the hell? This guy walks in here, utilizes our program, and tells us.
But I mean, to your point, I mean, you know, having worked at Best Buy, I mean, I used to have to sell, you know, the magazines because that was like pure profit. Yeah. You add these things on, they can say, okay, yeah, we'll give you a discount because we're trying to sell you on other items. I mean, to me, you're right. I think the Xbox Live and PSN and Nintendo Store, they should be able to say, hey, if at least for purchasing their subscription service, for being like, you know, PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live Gold. I mean, I know they kind of do. They give you an additional bonus, but I feel like a more consistent discount on new games and I think a better one would be better. It would be beneficial because again, we were talking about it. Getting a digital game is so easy. Outside of the download time, depending on your internet speeds, you get it. You buy it, you got it, and you're playing it. Like, you don't have to get up, you don't have to go anywhere. I mean, that, to me, and maybe it's a good thing, but that leads to such a good opportunity for binge spending, like just going in there and being, okay, I'm going to get this game. Because how many times do you see people online talking about Steam sales, and they just fill it up, and they never touch these games?
Yeah.
But the game's like $5 here, $10 there, and they just...
And they fill it. Yeah, you're right. They fill it. They never touch them. They got them, but they never touch them.
Yeah. I mean, Steam's made that. Valve's made that money.
They made it, and you'll never get it back. I mean, unless you want, you know, that Counter-Strike. Like, listen, ma'am, I got a deal for you.
Call me your gas company, like, look,
scratching your head, like, do y'all take Counter-Strike maps or do y'all just take cash here? Okay,
or watch skins. Which is it? Is it?
Oh, we are bagging on Steam, and I don't even have it. I don't know too much about it. I mean, I read the article. I'm not a Steam.
Yeah, I use it for, you know, I play some Civ on PC. I got Tales of Symphonia when it was on sale. Actually, yeah, perfect example. It was on sale for like $5. I love Tales of Symphonia. Just picked it up out of my PC or whatever.
But you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying though? Like, I mean, listen. That's why I'm kind of now I wouldn't say worried. I'm kind of waiting to see if Microsoft does that.
Yeah,
because they're trying to do that play anywhere type. They want to make their system the YouTube of gaming.
Right.
You know what I mean? I want to see if they can.
That's what they need to do because to compete. Because one, I mean, we talk about it. Steam just kind of is. They have a good reputation. People like Steam. Mm-hmm. They're gonna go for Steam first and foremost. Just just off the top of their head. Two, I mean, it is pretty easy to use. I haven't had I don't use a lot with it, but I haven't had too much trouble.
Netflix a gaming though. I mean, that's like almost like PlayStation Now though.
Yeah,
that's, you know, the mirroring. You play the game online,
yeah,
but you don't own it, but you pay a subscription fee. But
yeah,
PlayStation is kind of.
I mean, I think if it's affordable, I think it could work out because I think for people
depends on your internet connection.
Yeah, it's going to depend. I think if you have a strong internet connection, and for I think most people, particularly your casual people, the ability to just pick and select. Because most, especially casual or even some hardcore gamers, owning doesn't matter as much. Because like
that would be dope.
Yeah.
If you pay like the $15 or $30 a month, whatever the hell they charge, $20 a month, but you had the ability to download the game to the hard drive, so you don't have to worry about the.
Right, yeah, that would be nice. That would be
play and beat it,
and I feel like that's something they could do because they already check your licenses to make sure you own something. So they just gotta when you stop subscribing, okay, it revokes it and you can't use it.
Can't use it. That would be that would be different. That would be a game changer.
Yeah,
I mean, but I guess it would depend on what kind of games that they put on there. You know, of course, older games.
Yeah,
maybe not new. I don't know.
Yeah. A lot of it depends because that's another thing that I think advantage of Steam has is. they have such a wide berth and wide, they're not held down by certain platform games, so you can get Final Fantasy, Tales of Symphonia. You're not getting that on the Xbox.
Like, no, because they ain't got it.
Right, it did just from publishing rights and all that stuff. Like, it's just...
Sorry, B, you're not getting that.
And then, for example, you get, you're gonna get your indie games, your farming simulators, all kind of random things that get put up there. But no, I think... Because I don't think owning games is as big of a deal to people as you would think, especially today with like Netflix streaming and Spotify. Like it used to be, like I used to download all my music, terabytes of MP3s. You got a hard drive right there, but
gotta have it.
At a certain point, it's just it's easier, more convenient, just pull it up, stream it, and call it a day.
They've done so.
People are just more used to it now, I think.
I mean, how they got used to it is what scares the shit out of me.
No, it is. It is kind of.
How did this so fast? I remember. Oh, yeah, I used to be a pirate. I'm not a pirate no more, guys. Trust and believe me. I don't pirate. I support anybody I can.
Right.
But in my adolescence, I thought it was cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
I was broke. I was
gonna say, especially our generation growing up on the internet. Like that was broke as hell. It was opening up, and it was just like, you can just go download this movie right now?
There's at least 20 million thieves in America right now.
Get that. I mean,
just
get that
start.
DivX logo on the bottom of the screen for your anime.
Watching it like, you know what I'm saying? I just downloaded a new episode of, Cowboy Bebop, man.
But even that point real quick before you continue, a lot of that's curbed by the fact that I can just go to Crunchyroll and get anime. I can get it on demand.
Spend $6.99, $7.99 or whatever.
Yeah.
And get it. And
right.
You don't have to work because you're not going to watch it. I mean, people's days are so filled.
Exactly. Like, how often do you really go back and like there are games that I'll go back and replay, but for the most part, especially because I like single player games, once I finish it, boom, it's done.
It's done. I mean, I'm gonna go back and play Final Fantasy again one day. It's not in the cards. I mean, I'm enjoying Persona 5.
Right. For example, and Final Fantasy is a long game. So it'd be, for someone in your position might say, you know what, I'll just pay $20 a month, download it, I'm done with it. And if I want to download it again later, I can.
I can. I don't. I mean, the way people's time is hard. So, I mean, but I still think somebody needs to pay attention to the PSN, the Xbox Lives, the whatever the hell Nintendo is offering. Nobody knows yet. Nobody. Virtual console, they need to make it market savvy. They need to make it.
You're right.
Add benefit to the consumer this time around.
Right.
We want real life benefit. And what is that? Oh, that thing caught my eye. A little flashing thing. Oh, yeah. What was that? Sorry, guys. I got flashing lights in my house. Anyway, I mean, they need to pay attention to that because it makes me. There's no point in having PSN if you don't get no,
right.
I can't take that digital copy and be like, I'm tired of this game.
Right.
I thank God I bought Bloodborne.
You're right. No, you're
physical
right.
Copy.
Yeah, and that's the downside is that if you buy digital and you don't like it,
I'm stuck with this game. I don't want this game to work.
I remember I bought this game Comic Jumper on a Xbox Live sale years ago on 360 because I thought it looked cool. It's not a game. I think the game is probably fine. It's just not my cup of tea. But now it just sits on my account. I can't do anything with that. It's just collecting dust. Like nothing to do with it. I got a couple games that I have nothing against. I just haven't had time to play, and they're just sitting there. Like it used to be in a day when you bought digital. If you weren't using them, I'd bundle them up, go to GameStop, get that buy two get one, and get out along the way.
No, you're right. Definitely right. I don't know what that is. I don't know, man. It just makes me. We'll see, guys.
Yeah, let us know what you think. I mean, as far as just kind of in general, as far as a Steam store, do you think? I mean, I think competition is good. Do you think they need a stronger competitor? Can Windows be that competitor? Are you for streaming for the digital, or you prefer hard copy? Because I know some people they just love having the cases. For me, if it's not like a collector's kind of case or like something really special, then it doesn't bother me that much.
Yeah.
But
it is. I mean, I just.
Plus, I mean, the convenience of just switching your games without getting up. I mean, ain't bad.
It ain't that bad. I just don't. I don't know. Yeah. I just feel like they have to change the model a little bit to make it more appealing.
Now, I do know sometimes I've gone on Amazon and I've seen games the physical copy be cheaper than the digital. I guess because they want to get rid of physical or because they have to do.
What game? What game is specific?
Like most recently, I think there was a Skyrim special edition. Actually, I just recently picked that up. I was getting an Xbox. I think it was like $30. I know I got it in the store at Target for $30, but on the digital stores it was like still $60 or whatever. Like, so I guess maybe that's an advantage to the increased digital is that if you do like physical, you might see more sales because they want to get rid of that, or they don't want the inventory sitting there, I suppose. But
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Nah, for real, man. I just think that I think they need to change up some stuff. Yeah. I mean, but I don't think there's no answer. I mean, I think it should be cheaper. I mean, cheaper is always better,
right?
And I mean, but people do have families.
I was gonna say you do have, at a certain point you have to find that, but you have to just be like, I have to pay something because I mean, low prices mean developers are getting paid.
Yeah, they can't support they can't
or
support
when
their
these
families.
Games come out, they shut the development team, and they're not.
They have no job. I mean, who recently went through that? It was the Hitman. Square Enix was it IP?
IO Interactive. Not IO. I can picture, but I can't think of the name. It's on top of my head.
Is it IO Interactive?
I think it's what it is.
Yeah,
but same. Yeah, they were they got let go. It's because
they came out with a dumbass idea. The episodic versions of Hitman.
Yeah,
and Hitman. I mean, when it came out, was dope because you could do a lot and kill people different type of ways. But then, I mean, there's a trillion other games you can do the same damn thing.
Right,
right. I mean, I don't know what they knew. I mean, he wasn't James Bond. I mean, what the hell was he?
Yeah.
I mean, he was a hitman. I mean, but it just didn't. The pacing of that. It's almost like saying we're going to make a vampire game after the craze of vampires are gone.
Right, and it's in a vampire game where your main character vampire isn't, because people know Agent 47, but he's not like a big character in gaming. Like he's not like your Master Chiefs, your Mario, your Drakes. He's kind of just there. So if you're going to have that kind of character, your gameplay has to be really outstanding to really catch people's attention.
I mean, what's that one game coming out? Vampire, I think it's called. Mm-hmm. I mean, that seems to be kind of interesting because it's coming out after the whole craze, but then it might bring it back. Nobody knows for real. You know what I mean? So I mean, we'll see. Mm-hmm. We will definitely see when it comes to that. But I just Hitman, that shit. I mean, but you got to support. You have to. You have to support these guys. I mean, that's why. I mean, I encourage people to not always use streaming either, because, well,
Yeah, that's a true point. How much revenue is a developer seeing when you stream like that?
Because Crunchyroll, they funny. They funny. Yeah. I mean, I got it. I recently got it again.
Yeah.
Before I didn't have it, but I was like, I don't get it, and I got it, and. Because they overload you with commercials when you don't have it.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and the commercials don't be relevant to anything that you about.
And they're just like a minute long. Like, hey.
Oh, they go Goku. Oh, hit it. Oh shit, more commercials. Now they got to break it between the episode. Oh snap! Oh, another commercial. It ended. It turns it really into a 30-minute thing when the episode's really 22 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's like 8 1-minute long commercials.
Yeah.
For what?
Right. No. Yeah. It's probably to push you to subscribe.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? Forget it. I'll just.
Then you spend $7. Now I don't know how money gets divided or who gets paid to do what and how, as far as the Crunchyroll aspect. But I know like music is kind of up and down. Spotify.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what I've heard. Like
Tidal type. I mean, are artists getting paid to get more money when they do shows? But that's always been their thing anyway.
Yeah.
Shows and stuff like that. But even still, I mean, how are they getting paid? When do they get paid? If they get paid at all? I mean, would it matter? I mean, if you made a song today and you got you got in a car accident and your family got the check from Apple Music 2 years later. I mean, how does this thing work?
Yeah.
So, be very careful with the. I mean, if you really like an artist, try to. Even if you buy digitally at that point, try to.
Because it does seem like it's harder to get that sort of. It used to be like 20 years ago in gaming, a game like Hitman could still do pretty well, even without like it. It seems like you're either a huge seller or you're a dud. Like you're either doing Call of Duty or we're never going to see from your series again. Like it's hard to, that middle ground has really fallen off in gaming. So definitely, if you have that kind of game, support, get your people to check it out. Don't accept anything, but get your fan, build a fan base.
Yeah, you definitely want to do that, man, because they I mean, games, man. I mean, these guys. I mean, they gouging us. They are getting us.
Yeah,
but you don't need to take things in your own hands and download it legally.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the game if I want to. No, don't do that. And I mean, also before we get out of here, I do want to say. Shout out to Black Lightning for casting a weird-looking black guy to be Black Lightning, but the story seems pretty cool, so I can get past it. The art looks pretty anyway.
Yeah.
Let me see. Shout out to DC for all them damn shows they got anyway. Yeah. I mean, they showed up. They showed out. Yeah. You know what I mean? And shout out to The Gifted.
Yeah.
And Marvel side of things, shout out to them.
My shout out to Sonic. They came out with this new Sonic game.
Create your own.
Yeah, they know what kind of fans they have, and that was the smartest idea possible to make them like the weird little Sonic people that they want to make. Yeah. That's genius, guys.
Shout out to them. Team Sega, and also Team Sega. You guys have been talking about bringing back some old IPs.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking at you, Atogi.
That'd be outstanding.
Bring them back and Crazy Taxi. That'd be fun.
Oh, that'd be great.
In 2017, that'd be boatloads of fun. I mean, just all types of games they got. Yeah. So shout out to Sega. Shout out to who else is getting a shout out today? Shout out to Nintendo and ARMS.
Oh. Yeah, Twintail, yeah,
with the derriere.
Oh,
yeah, man. People think I'm tripping, but
look that up, man. Nintendo they knew what they were doing.
They know what's going on.
They knew what they were doing.
Nintendo was like, we wanted to make it the biggest Apple booty ever.
They're like, all right, nobody's paying attention to ARMS. What do we need?
They was like, I mean, somebody let me know. She black. Brazilian, Latina. I mean, just let me know. That way. I mean, regardless, she's stunning. I mean, for a video game character, I'm like, psh. So shout out to Nintendo for that.
Yeah.
Pick up ARMS June 16th. What else is there to shout out?
I'm good.
You fresh out of shouts?
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, that's our time, you guys. I mean, Randall's out of shouts. Shout out to you guys.
Oh yeah.
For listening.
Thanks for listening. We love it.
You've been rocking with us. Day one in us and all that. You feel me? Hit us up, man. And shout out, look us up on Twitter at the Ramen Room 1. We there. Send us a DM, make it nice. And you can find our page on Facebook, the Ramen Room. All together, no spaces, you'll find it. And SoundCloud as well, the Ramen Room. We're out there as well. So check us out. Pretty much everywhere. Google Music Play, whatever.
MySpace.
I think I gotta fix that. iTunes.
Got a live journal.
Yeah,
my feelings down in.
Yeah, yeah. Shit. But all right, y'all. That's our time. Till next time. This has been a sign from the Ramen Room. Peace.
Peace.